Hello, welcome back to another talk. My name is Jill Niebuhr. I am Angel Warrior. I was Jammin the Warrior when I started Patreon in February of 2017. I'll take you on a little journey about what that has been like for me. So I started Patreon in February. I officially opened my business in April. Big learning curve. It was really hard once I opened my business to find people that had been supporting me continue to support me. Why was that? Did they think I was okay? Did they think I didn't want them to help me anymore? Did they think I was full of myself? I just really don't know. Thankfully, I have had my patrons walk along with me in a very difficult period for 2 years. And there was a period where they were the only people I was actually keeping in touch with. I went through this big, huge transformation. Everything that had been working for me at the introductory level of my career was no longer working for me. I went through an intense healing period. God called me into a new area, and right now I'm on the brink of a huge transformation. So I wanted this place that I could specially communicate with people who wanted to invest in me. And that's why I started Patreon. I wanted something exactly like this for a really, really long time. I used to write a page called Melody Monthly. I had subscribers. I sent it out in the mail every month. It was one page. It was like my own little creation. And it was fun for me. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work putting all that stuff together. I was in a preparatory part of my career, so I was doing a lot of studying on the music industry. I was following artists. I was paying attention to new trends in music. I was looking at the music business. I was finding my own voice. I was in the process of making my first album, Fresh Blood, which was a really, really long time. And that was intentional because I did go through a severe trauma when I was in college, which brought me into my calling in music. And once I started following it, I realized I had serious issues that I wanted to pay attention to, sacrifice myself for not only my health, but also to really prepare myself for what the spotlight would be like. And I saw the things in my life naturally give me those opportunities to prepare myself for where I am right now. Oh, I need more water today. It's been quite the morning. There is a lot of pressure in my situation right now. I'm really not fazed by it, but there are really big things happening for me right now. So yes, my Fresh Blood album was written during that dark period in my life, and it was the first piece of music that I created. And I finally released it after I was almost completed with my first year of sobriety. Actually, I was 1 month shy of 1 year. And it was released on my birthday, so it was a special occasion. And I didn't have anything on social media at that time. I had people in my network who were enthusiastic about me, on the streets, in real life, in my community. And I made a profit off of that album, even though it took a lot of investment, over the years for it to pay off, since I was really in a vulnerable state. I had to go through a lot of problems. You know, I invested a lot more than I would need to now. And I just finished my sophomore album last year, and I finished it in record time. I wouldn't do that again. It was just a special period of time where I was sharing my spiritual experience. I wrote an album of piano spirituals, and actually God was working miracles in my life at that time, and right now he's in the process of working some more. So that's just how cool it is. And so yeah, then I released my first album, and then I started speaking on things in the mental health area and healing and recovery, and also addiction. Ran for city council, released a book of poetry, and then I was also in school finishing my political science degree at this time. So all of this stuff has been happening in this 7-year period that I've been in St. Peter, Minnesota, and calling me to my next level in life. It's just been pretty much a preparatory, like a beginning stage of my career to kind of, I guess, get my feet wet. I've been in I've been in some magazines. I've been in, I've had the articles in the paper, and my music actually did pretty good as far as getting played on a lot of radio stations right away. Johnny Marks picked up my music after about a month or two after its release and started playing it on Hot 96.7, which was a really big deal to me because that's a popular channel of music. It's you know, it's one of the mainstream stations, so that was cool. And then I got around to finding out about Patreon, and since this was something I had wanted to do for a really long time, I kind of was like, I need to do this now. I need to start preparing for what I want for this club. And so some of my top supporters joined, and we were live. We went live right away. And I tried out a lot of different things. I don't even remember how I started, but you know, mainly everything that I've been doing there has been getting to the stage I'm at right now, which is really exciting because now I'm being consistent. I mean, I was consistent before, but it was like when I needed to be, you know, like when I wanted to be, or when I don't know, it wasn't like I posted things every month, several things, but it wasn't on a timed manner. And so now I post every 5 to 10 days, and it's specifically written for my patrons. It's like a journal. It's like a journal for my patrons. And this gives people really things that I don't share really at all. You know, it's about my deep thoughts on things and how I come up with ideas and things that are important to me and why I feel certain ways. And it's more of my heart's message than I do on anything else. And I do that because the people there are investing in me, and it's important to me, and it's valuable to me, and I want them to have a special part of me because of that. I am limiting patrons. I am not going to accept an unlimited amount of patrons. I only want a few to start out with these trials. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to pour into the people who want it right away, and not the people who need 6 months to think about it. Because the way I think is that if people really want to get in, they'll get in, and then that's it. You know what I mean? it is a very, very cool thing for me, and it really, really means a lot to me. So once I started my business, I had a really, really rough 2 years, and my patrons were the biggest part of my business. And I didn't have a lot of patrons. I didn't have a lot of money coming in, but it was enough to still sustain me and keep me, in the green. And actually, it came time to do my music video for my last album, and I wouldn't have had the money with the money I raised to do that. And so I took money that my patrons had given me and made the music video. And that's what a lot of people liked the most, was the music video. And those albums are still available in the Jammin' the Warriors store. You can get that in the description box, and it's a really, really special album for people to feel supported and guided out of whatever they're going through. It is a miracle album, and I had been preparing for that in Fresh Blood. I end Fresh Blood with a spiritual song called Come to Me, Father. I really needed extra help from the divine to get out of where I had been in my life for a really long time, and God answered my call. It didn't happen overnight, but eventually things started working out for me. And it's just amazing how much I've been blessed beyond what I've been able to personally do, because my focus has been on my health, and thankfully I've had enough other donors and supporters helping me continue to grow that I haven't ever had to worry about anything. And when you find someone that has a special mission for others, you need to pour, like, if it's important to you what they're doing, you need to pour into them so that they can continue. And people don't understand that. People think that strong people are fine on their own. They think they can make life harder for them, and that's good for them, and that's not true. That's not true at all. That's the fastest way out. That's the fastest way out of our path. And if you truly want to support, you have to put effort and energy and money behind the people that you care about. So what I found is that, people who really want to be a part of what I'm doing, who want to come to my shows, who want to buy my stuff, who really care about me on that level, they belong here. They belong here. And there's going to be a lot of those people someday, and this club will not be available to them because the limits are closed. And that's okay, because this is only going to be a very, very small part of my mission in the world, eventually. Right now it's a big part. Eventually it's going to be a small thing that I do for a very select group of people. So if you get in now, you're going to get personal attention. And I'm not saying personal attention. You're going to get a personal affection, right, for contributing to something at such an early stage. I've seen people who knew my life path before I remembered it. And those were reminders to me along the way. And so the people that are here have to believe in me. It's not something you just want to try out to see if you like me. You gotta like me, watch some talks, see if you really want to invest first. Make that choice before you get started, because I want the people there to really be invested in me. Try out my albums, come to one of my shows, and then when you read my book Crush, my poetry book. If you like that stuff and you really want to invest in me, then is the time to become my patron. When you're really invested, And thank you, patrons. Thank you, because This is the difference that you've made for me in my life. You are the biggest part of what I do right now. Now that I'm starting this talk channel, that's another part, and I'm seeing things evolve and in a beautiful, beautiful way, and things are going to change fast for me. This is going to be an overnight thing. Right now, the small amount of patrons that I'm making available could make a humongous difference in my life. I can't even tell you how much. I could, but it's kind of sad. So the very limited amount that are available right now could really help me even pay my bills every month. So, and I'm not trying to, just get whoever to sign up. I want people who really, really care about me and who really want to back me on my journey, right? I said that. Yeah, like my patrons. Okay, so that fit in just perfect there. Thank you, patrons. Thank you for starting my really, really big journey out with me. And I thank you as much as I possibly can for being a part in what I do. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. That's a guarantee I always have in my life. It only gets better. So thank you.